Hello everyone and welcome to APT University. Today we are going to be taking a look at asset tracking, including procurement, consumption, and working with assigning to team members or locations, as well as tracking service due dates as well. So today we are going to start off in AdvancePro. If you're curious about AdvancePro, we do have a full catalog of APTU presentations on our website under the Resources tab or on our YouTube channel. If you'd like to learn more about AdvancePro, that's a great place to start. I recommend taking a look at our purchase order, reorder alert level video, as well as the picking locations, the lot and serial tracking, and multiple adjustment videos. Those are going to go into more detail about the main features we'll be touching on today that affect asset tracking. So while AdvancePro was originally designed to handle distribution and manufacturing, many of our customers use AdvancePro to effectively manage non-sale assets. This could be equipment spread across multiple facilities and locations, equipment in vehicles, office equipment, and other non-sale items. So we'll be covering this today. If you have any questions as we go through the presentation, feel free to put them into the questions tab on your GoToWebinar panel, and we'll be answering them at the end. So if you're new to AdvancePro, we're a tool for managing your inventory and orders and syncing the financial results to QuickBooks. So first we're going to start with a vendor purchase order. So this would be any purchasing of assets. We've created all of our items, whether they're for sale items or asset items, here in our product settings, and we could have something that we'll use. Today we'll be using a drill. We'll work with this DeWalt drill. Now we're going to go ahead and order from a vendor. And let's go ahead and choose a vendor for that. There we go. We'll go ahead and proceed. We'll see if this vendor sells us that DeWalt drill. It doesn't, so it looks like we'll use a Dremel tool instead. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and bring in this Dremel tool today that we're going to then assign to various locations. So at this point, we're just ordering it. We could also write it off, which we will a bit later as well. Let's go ahead and save this. So we've got our purchase order here. We can send this purchase order off to our vendor to deliver this, or this could just be recording a purchase that we've made elsewhere. We're going to go ahead and place this order. That's going to send it from the purchasing department over to receiving so that they can actually receive the product as it gets delivered to us. Let's go ahead and place that order. There we go. Now, over on the warehousing side, now we can receive these goods in. So we'll head to the warehouse. And we'll see these orders to receive, so we can open this up and just verify that the vendor sent us what we ordered. And if there's any discrepancy, we could short receive, and at that point, a bill is going to be created. That's going to sync over to QuickBooks to reflect what we actually received in the door. Now at this point, we have picking locations, and this is really critical for asset management, as we can actually track where we're receiving these products into. This can be brought into a specific physical address or facility. This can be brought into somebody's workstation. We can take this and put this at Bob's desk. And we can also have sort of warehouse locations as well. So we could go and assign these out to specific people. We could also put them in vehicles. So picking locations could be anything. We happen to have named them with this CA1, CA2, CA3 convention, but you can name them whatever you like. So you could have one for truck 10. You can go ahead and put these items into the locations. And we can also assign a serial number at this point as we're receiving the items in. So we can actually track the individual item. Go ahead and plug in a serial number. We'll call this 2345. And we can give an expiration date, which can be our service date. We can also come back into our serial number manager after we've serviced it, change the expiration date to the next service date. So I'll go ahead and put in a service date. There we go. Go ahead and create that serial number. So now as we work throughout the software, we can actually work by serial number and manage the individual item serialized. So if we have 10 different drills brought in, we can track 10 different items. And we can use our AP labeling software to put a unique barcode on that item if it doesn't have one already to manage those individual items, those individual serialized items that we've created. Let's go ahead and receive this into stock. We'll talk about assigning in a separate step. So we'll go ahead and make a bill. So we put in a bill or a reference number that's going to create a bill, and that bill syncs off to QuickBooks. Let's go ahead and receive that into stock. There we go. So we got our one piece. Now, if we head over to Manage Inventory, we have picking locations turned on right now. So if I want, I can go and put this item in a location. Let me jump into a specific warehouse. We've got warehouses and picking locations within those warehouses. And if we need to ship items from one warehouse to another, we absolutely can do that. So that's going to be using our multiple transfer. Let's go ahead and pull up our Dremel tool. There it is. And here we can transfer it from sort of a storage location, again, to a preset location. So I can say we're going to take it out of TB1. We're going to put it into some other location like temporary storage or somebody's specific workstation. And we can assign the quantity that we're going to be transferring and the serial numbers that we're going to transfer as well if we're working with serial numbers. So we can work with all of those settings. And at this point, we can assign those goods into a specific location. Now, if we're going to consume those goods, we can go ahead and go to our multiple adjustment tool. This is for consumption rather than sale, although we can sell any product that we've created. So we're going to go ahead and choose our Dremel tool, and we're going to do it as a negative adjustment. And now we're going to remove that item from stock. We can choose the picking location we're pulling from and choose the serial number that we're removing. So here we can go and choose our serial numbers. I'm just going to choose this specific serial number this time around. There we go. So that serial number has now been assigned. We can remove it. Let's say that it was damaged, and it gets taken out of stock. Now, if we're using separate warehouses, we can transfer items between warehouses, and we can also have a reorder level created for that warehouse. So as we go to order again from that vendor to replace the item that we just lost, we can actually have it trigger and show the items that we're short on for a given warehouse. We're going to go ahead and proceed. So here, we're going to go ahead and choose the warehouse. And within that warehouse, we can get recommendations based on what we are low on. So we can see what's below our reorder level, as well as automatically add the correct quantities to our order. So there's our means of ordering what we're short on and consuming those assets. So we can assign items to various locations or various users. We can consume those items as they get broken or as they get used up, and we can track the service against each serialized item. So that gives us a lot of flexibility as far as how we manage our assets through AdvancePro. So there's absolutely no need to use AdvancePro just for sellable items. We can also be using AdvancePro for these asset items, these items that we might not be necessarily selling, we may be purchasing, and we can send any purchase orders or any finished bills for items that we've received right through to QuickBooks. Now, as far as reporting, we could have a category created for assets, and we can do product reports to see where all of our assets are across different picking locations or across our entire inventory. So we can run an inventory report for that. So this concludes our brief tour of asset management in AdvancePro. Thank you all for watching. If there are any questions, go ahead and put them in the questions tab of your GoToWebinar panel, and we'll just hold tight on those questions. Thank you all for watching, and have a great afternoon.